Welcome to Ultimate 8-Man, the ultimate destination for everything 8-man football, where the field is smaller, the action is faster, and the passion runs deep. Whether you're a player, a coach, or a die-hard fan, we bring you breakdowns, tips and strategies, coaching insights, and jaw-dropping plays from across the 8-man world. Join us as we shine a light on the athletes and teams redefining the games, because in 8-man football, every snap counts. What's up, football heads? It's Coach Rogers here. If you enjoy the content we're putting out, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so we can grow the network of passionate football minds all across this nation. Today we're going to start with basic 8-man formations and personnel. Hope you enjoy. Let's go. Right here we've got our base 22 personnel. For 8-man, you've got 5 men on the line of scrimmage instead of 7. Your tight ends replace your tackles, and you still have your guard, center guard on your interior 3. 2 running backs, and a quarterback. If you look at it from field view, this is what it would look like. Simple, powerful formation. When you want to maneuver people around here, you could move your fullback over into a strong type, which goes here. You can move your quarterback in pistol if you want. You can move your tailback over. Simple, or you can even put your fullback at a wing. Really, the possibilities are endless. I just like to call this a base formation because you still have your 5 men on the line of scrimmage like you would in an 11-man game. You just wouldn't have any receivers. Depending on your personnel, you might want to go spread as more of an offensive look. So with this, I just have a pro formation, what we would call it, with a tight end still for 4 men on the line up front. With your wide receiver split, probably your best receiver is going to be right here on the single side. You still got twins, you still got a back. With all of this, you can really maneuver it however you want and do whatever formation you want out of it. If you look at it from the top view, this is what it would look like. If we go back, you can really split however you want. You can put your tight end out into a flex or a true twins with 3 down linemen. You can move your tight end to this side. You can pull your wide receivers over, and you can have a true trips look. Put your wide receiver on the line of scrimmage, and you got trips there, which can be really dangerous in 8-man if you have the right guy at quarterback. So once again, spread look, possibilities are endless. A lot of motions, a lot of formations you can do out of this, depending if you have athletes, if you got the right personnel for this, and a quarterback is a dual threat. And now we move to defense, and I'm going to have an offense on the field for our defensive looks just to give you an idea of how it would line up normal against a base formation. You're obviously going to adjust as the offense adjusts, but the 3-2, I think you're the most balanced. You have D linemen that are head up to a shade outside of your tight ends. Nose guard, linebackers are about 4 or 5 yards off the ball. DBs are 3x3 or 3x4 depending, and your safeties 1x8. If you look at it from the camera view, you have outside contained covered, you've got inside covered, you've got deep covered. And that's why I think it's one of the most underrated defense for 8-man football. The great thing about this defense is you don't have to have a stud at one certain position for it to work. You can be average to above average at every position, and as long as everybody does their job, you're going to have success. Your safety really needs to be probably your smartest football player that can also run a little bit, and that'll make things a lot easier. But other than that, you can get by with disciplined, hardworking, average to above average athletes at every other position. A defense that has gained a lot of popularity recently and is super flexible is the 3-3, 3D linemen, 3 linebackers. I'm going to show you a 3-3 stack. What it would look like is exactly what it says. You can also do what we call an inside 3-3, where your DNs are a shade outside and your linebackers are on the inside. And your safeties are still back, or DBs, whatever you want to call them. Looks kind of like this. You've got outside contain. You've got gaps everywhere covered, C gap, B gap, and then these two can play games between the A gaps. One goes one way, one goes the other. Defensively, you're probably in man coverage or a deep cover 2 if you want to, but that's up to you. You can invert this, and you can do what we call an outside 3-3 or a 51, where you have 3 techs, a nose, and 2 outside linebackers. This middle linebacker, though, has to be a stud and can run and tackle. These guys can eat up blocks right in the 3 technique, and then your outside linebackers have to be able to set the edge and defend a pass as well as come up and hit. This can get taken advantage of, but it's also, if you have the right personnel, could be very, very successful. Moving on to a 4-2 defense. We see this a lot with 11-man coaches that drop down to the 8-man game because they're used to running a 4-front. So within this, your D linemen are probably, your DNs are probably a shade outside because they're outside contained. They're force players. D line, we usually see 2 techniques with linebackers stacked above them. So it looks something like this. You can move people around, obviously. The other thing you can do is slide your D line, and you can both do 1 techniques, and linebackers are out. You still got your gaps covered. C, B, A, all that stuff. Pretty easy to read at that point. You can get some decent angles here, but if these are guys or dudes, you can have success. You can mess around with it, and you can do a 3, a 1-3, and a 5, like way outside, and then you can adjust over with your linebackers, and you can be a true gap technique team again. Gives it a short side of the field, wide side of the field, whatever you want to adjust with. You can do that as well in the 4-front. It's a feast or famine, in my opinion. You're going to create a lot of pressure, and you can get a lot of negative plays, but you can also give up some huge plays. So your choice on that, depending on your personnel, just like everything. You can also do a 4-1, but I've never really seen it much. But you could slide 1 linebacker and scoot this guy to safety if you really needed to. I just don't really think that'd be a wise option in most circumstances, but it's definitely a possibility. Another defense that's gained a lot of popularity recently and has gained a lot of traction in the last few years, I've noticed, is the 2-4, where you have 2 D linemen, 4 linebackers, and defensive backs. So it's going to look something like this. Now, to have this defense work, your 4 linebackers have to be able to run. Your D line doesn't have to be crazy good. They just have to be able to occupy bodies, and then let your linebackers run free. If you wanted to mess around with this, you could slide these to 1s. You could move your linebackers backing up. But what I like about this defense is it's very matchup dependent. But if you get a team that the center is a really good center and your tight ends are really good, you don't want this guy blocking at the point of attack. You want to get this guy in space. So if you have a linebackers that can run, you definitely want to get him moving, and these backers will beat him to the spot where the ball's going. That just mitigates his effectiveness if he's a true stud. Same with your tight ends. So if your guards are lesser, you can just cover them and occupy them. Let these guys block in space, and you have 3 guys versus 4 that can run. And I like your chances on that against a base formation specifically. If you scoot your linebackers up close to line of scrimmage, we're just treating this as a 4-2, so nothing changes. So it really just depends how you align those, how you would treat it, and your personnel. But once again, has gained a lot of traction. Also, depending on your personnel and your body type of athletes you have, you can scooch these D linemen over, and you can drop a linebacker down kind of in a joker role. So you could have him as a wide technique. You could slide this D lineman to a 3. You could put this D lineman at a 1. You could push him down and kind of squeeze like a strong side. Put your linebackers in. So almost like an overfront equivalent. Once again, depending on your body type and the way your guys can move, you could do this. This could also be a variation of a 3-3 defense if you really wanted to look at it. So it just really depends what you've got and what you want to do, but you could definitely slide these guys over, still have your linebackers set the edge and run. If you had some bigger, stronger guys that could run, you could keep them both at 3 techniques and linebacker up. And if you had a stud here, you could go and really screw with techniques and assignments. But that's all, like I said, depending on your philosophy and your body types and athletic types of people that you have on your team that you're ready to send out there on Friday nights. And there we have it, just a basic overview of the personnel and formations you can use on offense and defense. We're going to go way more in depth on more videos. So if you would, comment below what you would like to see on our channel going forward, and we'll make it happen. Catch you guys on the flip side.